back here in M6, they could be the one to kind of finish what they started 4 years ago. So that's the storyline that I think not just me, but a lot of Indonesian fans are also looking forward to.
Trex, any other storylines you want to dip your toes in?
You know, me not being a Southeast Asia guy, it's definitely Team Spirit, Ulfidnar, BTK for me. These are these are three teams that I think a lot of us have our eyes on. Ulfidnar never being able to break a top 8 when they were Fireflex, never being able to break a top 8 when they were Incendio Supremacy, but still making it so close. And then Team Spirit with their insane run last year, and BTK bringing the comeback. So I mean, these are non-C regions that we're hoping maybe we see something great from this year.
Yeah, if you are a first-time viewer of MLBB Esports, Southeast Asia has dominated for the longest time. But here in M6, we have new regions popping up. Of course, as Trex mentioned, NA, Turkey, EECA, a lot of eyes on them to excel. There's a lot more stories we're going to be sharing with you and learning more about as M6 goes on. There is definitely a lot of star players you have to keep your eyes out on. So make sure we're going to be getting 8 of them today. But compared to different Swiss stages, it's not all going to be best of 1. As we go a little bit later into the tournament, we start to see all the more familiar best of 3s. But it's going to take a while. To keep it simple, win 3, you advance. Lose 3, you get eliminated. This is historical for us as we look at all the best of ones we're going to be getting in today. One by one, what are you most excited for? You can say SRGs.
I think a lot. Even you would expect me to say SRG, Vamos, but you know what? I'm going to go out on a lip. I am personally looking forward to KBG against RRQ.
Oh.
Right? We talk about storylines we're all looking forward to. We forgot to mention the Chinese region, right? Like Dianfeng Yaoguai during the wildcards gave us hell of a performance, almost took it out Offerna, and right now KBG, who are the first seed from that region, it's up to them.
You know, I like it. I think the best thing about Swiss, we're finally going to get to see the cream rise to the top, right? There's no excuses about bad group or this team could have made it out if they were in a different group or this or that. Only the best will make it out of this. Only the best will succeed in getting those 3 wins, going to the knockout stage, and proving themselves with the other 8 teams. And that's what I think I'm most excited for as we move through this Swiss. Plus, there's just a lot of games to watch.
There is a lot. So the schedule is going to be popping up in just a bit, and we're going to be talking about that. Remember, folks, we are on a rolling schedule. So as soon as the previous match ends, it could start up all over again much quicker, so make sure you are locked in. S2G versus SRG is coming up, BTK versus Ulfidnar, CFU versus NIP Flash, and Maycam Evolve versus Team Spirit. While for the second half of the day, we have Twisted Minds, Vamos, Falcon, and Aurora, KBG versus RRQ, and the big one that a lot of people have their eyes on, that we're waiting for, the Clash of Titans in Fnatic Onyx Philippines versus TLID. Before we talk a little bit more about S2G versus SRG, why the heck are people really hyped up about FNOP and TLID?
I mean, you have 2 champions, and I mean, as far back as we go, it's ID Philippines, man, you know? And whether we all put Philippines at the top of the pedestal, they're the reigning champions for multiple years. But there's a lot of people out there that always want to see those champions get toppled, and there's a lot of Indonesians out there that have faith that TLID can maybe do it. Can they, though?
I think there's a good chance they do it, but you know, I'm interested in the aftermath, right? Because we always have the Swiss draw right after the day ends. And I want to see which team gets the loser of that bracket for day number 2. That is going to be devastating on paper.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons why we went Swiss, to get unexpected results, surprising outcomes. And about the Swiss stage, I believe Coach Ozora Vecchi, the analyst of SRG, mentioned something about this. He says, after winning MSC, the pressure and expectations only grew. MPLMY Season 14 was the first hurdle. We were expected to perform clean sweep and be the grand finalist. The pressure felt really different, but knowing that I'm surrounded by a lot of capable talents, I don't feel alone. It's not just about the Swiss stage, it's actually his feelings heading into M6.
Yeah, I think there's even kind of a permutation, right? Like Doctor Strange, 1 in a million chance that SRG wasn't going to make it to M6. A lot of people were looking at Todak. Todak beat SRG in the upper bracket during playoffs. So people were started to cast some doubts onto SRG, but I'm glad that they were able to recover, and I'm glad that they took some losses, because it really lifted the pressure of that perfect run.
Yeah, I think there's a thin line between having fun competing and when that pressure starts to build, right? I think before that, they weren't champions, right? They didn't win MSC. They were winning games.